Imagine a completely adaptable simulation based on the mood you were feeling at the time, like a virtual mood ring, if you will. We're going to talk about how this technology is very real and how Earth2 is more than likely going to use it. This is Earth2 in the Know, and let's get into it. So to get started, let us just talk about how the advancements in AI are making this a very realistic possibility at rates that we highly underestimated. We should also probably continue our exam on the subject by looking at how Metaverse companies like E2 can integrate this into their platforms. Anyone who has been in the AI space for any amount of time knows what a LLM is. However, if you're new to the tech, let's go ahead and break it down now. So, a LLM, or a large language model, is a type of AI that can recognize and generate text, as well as several other applications. They are built on machine learning that's called transformer models. The following few scenes are going to be quotes from an article on Cloudflare that kind of puts it into simpler terms. In simpler terms, an LLM is a computer program that has been fed enough examples to be able to recognize and interpret human language or other signals of complex data. Many LLMs are trained on data that has been gathered from the internet, thousands or millions of gigabytes worth of text. But the quality of the samples impacts how well the LLM will learn natural language, so in LLMs, programmers may use a more curated data set. Gots to be specific. LLMs are trained through a process called deep learning that involves the analysis of unstructured data, which allows the models to recognize distinction between content without the help of humans. End quote. Now, these components have many uses, the most famous one of them at the moment probably being ChatGPT. So now that we have a grasp on LLMs, let's talk about generative AI and how these two emerging technologies can be combined to create the Metaverse mood ring. We're pretty sure that everyone has seen one or more examples of generative AI. You know, from altering pictures of celebrities and compromising positions, all the way to creating fake videos of kittens for grandma to enjoy with her Sunday tea. So let's go ahead and jump into the specifics of how this works for all of those like me who took their toys apart to see how they work. So there are a few key players in the space. The first one is DALL-E. Developed by OpenAI, trained on a wide variety of images, it can create detailed images based on textual descriptions. Basically, that's the one where you type a few prompts in there and then generates, your results. Then you have Midjourney, which is it's also another image train program. Although that one you can guide a little bit more through the generative process through language input. So a little bit more flexibility. Dream Studio creates music for producers who allow examples of the past to create something of the present. Basically, everybody's a rock star these days. And Runway is an entire platform that provides everything you need to automate filmmaking and more. The tech really is getting better every single day. So now that you know the basics, let's explore how Earth2 could possibly use these tools to let players customize an entire simulation with just simple verbal requests. Let us look at this the same way we would examine the practical application inside the Metaverse itself. So perhaps a user has had a stressful day, and they want to simply just get away for a little bit. A user could simply log into the platform and simply by speaking into a microphone could tailor the experience to exactly the simulation the user needs to produce that serotonin level. Earth2, take me to EPL Jazz Passions. With just a few flashes of light, the user is presented with a very designable experience they can change just by speaking a few more phrases. Earth2. Design a show with Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald. And you know what? Have Elvis open just for fun. The options are so vast when we start exploring the possibilities this technology actually brings to the table. Right now, you can go to several sites and create an account just to trial and use some of these features. Just go check it out. Like, I think there's one where you can do virtual scenes. You just type in what kind of scene you want, and boom, they create it for you. You get like 5 free ones that you can import into Unreal Engine 5. It's pretty cool stuff. There are many that give you genres as a style, but they can be fully modded to your likings. Example would be World War III in Simpsons style, where Maggie's driving a tank, and it'll basically create a Simpsons style background. Maggie's in a tank, and it's a scene that you can take to Unreal Engine and create your game around. We already know that the partnership with Metagravity means that a lot of these options are being explored and quite possibly even utilized. So what do you guys think? Will AI and Earth2 be considered the Metaverse mood ring? We believe that Web3 and Metaverse projects like Earth2 and others in the space are getting us closer every day. User permissions could possibly be a learning experience for a first date. What do we mean by that? In theory, the programming could allow for permission settings where when 2 people meet in the metaverse, they can see if they're compatible just by the first date as they design together their first encounter. One person could suggest something, and then the other person could suggest an addition to that thing, and then they could just keep going back and forth, and then that explores whether or not they're compatible, how they think, if they think the same, if they're going to enjoy the same things. Anyway, I'm getting off track, but you get the point. You could also use this technology in therapy by allowing a patient to talk out their worst fears, being forced to face them in a controlled environment through the visual stimulation. I think it would also allow the patient the ability to maybe talk themselves out of it and figure out a way to work through it through verbal representation, providing a whole new therapy in itself. The applications could go on for almost every industry and find a target audience. When we sit back and think about how much power the user can have with just the ability of expression, it's literally mind-blowing. Here's where we are looking for help from the community. If you are in the game development industry, is it possible to have both models in a build? Can the build both be asset-driven and have AI features designed into it? Or is it simply one style of build or the other? It'll be interesting to see what the community has to say about that aspect of the project. So would you rather have the same mapped objects each visit, or generated content that changes? For us, we like the idea of differences in the world, making change seem more authentic. When was the last time you went somewhere days later and every single last detail was the same? Even in the Matrix, they have a glitch. Things like this are just another reason why E2 is thinking long game. As tech advances, so will entertainment companies. Being fluid in both the open world and AI-generated game designs will create what many of us believe will be a true masterpiece. Well, that's it for a slow news week as we wrap up this special Friday opinion piece about where we believe the tech and the project are going. We wanted to remind you that tomorrow we will be doing our weekly drawing for a winner, and the winner will be notified as well as have them winning featured in a clip on the channel. As a reminder, all you have to do for your chance to win is sub, like, and comment on any video, and you're automatically enabled for a chance to win cool collectible limited edition Earth2 merch. As always, thanks for checking out the content, and we cannot wait to see you in the Earth2 Metaverse.